Hi, thank you for watching today. Like many of my videos, I usually do just speak from the heart instead of writing a script, and this is just like that. And today I wanted to talk about, well, related to relationships, love, or I really didn't put a title on this, but I just felt like this is something that I should talk about, which I feel like a lot of websites, books, public speakers, a lot of people talk about this, and they probably already mentioned some of the things that I will talk about, and so that's great. That just, you know, adds credit to what I'm saying, validation. I usually speak about knowing yourself in a lot of my writings, and I believe I've mentioned it in some of my videos, how important it is for us to know ourself, to know who we are, and to take that time to delve into ourselves, to find out more about our identity, as we like to call it. Who am I? Kind of thing, you know? Um, it's just so important to do this, to know about our, why we may have fears of things, why we feel a certain way about certain topics, people, ideas, uh, relationships, and obviously in this case, relationships. Why we may feel a certain way, and it's just really important to take that time alone, you know. And this is not something you do once. You know, I am always doing this, taking alone time to really think and really meditate and really self-reflect, to find out the core, to find out the stem, the root of why I may think something or feel a certain way or have a particular fear about something. And that is very, very important when it comes to love. And love is a very tricky topic, or it can be. People make it complicated, honestly. Love is easy. Love is so simple, so beautiful, and so easy. And we humans just complicate it, okay? Um, the main reason why I say to understand yourself and get to know yourself, that is because if you do that, I'm going to adjust my screen here. If you do take that time, you're going to figure out why you want certain things, why you may feel like you need certain things in relationships, and you'll also figure out why you have fears of some things which you should not have a fear of, you know? And this helps you when you begin to meet people, or you may meet someone. That way, when you are taking that time with that individual, you know, you already go in knowing what you do desire. You already know what you want. You know what you do not want. You know what you would like to stay away from. You know what you value. You know what you find in your heart is part of your morals or your ethics, and you know, just to give you an example, okay, so I would love, I don't know why I'm like getting tongue-tied here, you know, I value communication, honesty, integrity, let's see, kindness, right? Who wouldn't want kindness? Okay, so these are certain things that we value. Um, And, you know, also maybe you have been in past relationships where you realize that if a person has a particular lifestyle and you know that doesn't really work well for you, or, you know, you find that it does not complement your life, you know, and I'm not talking about jobs. Some people may take it that far and say, hey, I'm sorry, if you have this type of job, I can't be with you. You know, that's fair game. But, you know, there are people who may not appreciate or understand certain lifestyles are just not good or productive for them, okay? So I'm just giving you examples here, okay? So this is the huge reason why it is so important to know yourself and to know your truth. That is the most important thing, is to know your truth, to know your heart, okay? And once you know that, when you meet people, it is so much easier to see a situation and a person from your heart, but also objectively, and use your intuition to know what is best for you, what is best for the other person. And so when you go into dating, when you go into a relationship with a person, and if you find that you are feeling a certain way, or you feel like some things are being compromised, or you feel fears arising, make sure you observe those fears to see if, you know, it could be you being paranoid, and maybe you just, you know, you've had a rough time, you've had rough relationships in the past, so it's just some fears bubbling to the surface, or if indeed they are red flags. And us women, we use those terms a lot, red flags, okay? And I found that this can be synonymous, you know, red flags and fears. If someone you're with brings out certain fears, you know, it's quite a possibility that in fact they are being that, obviously, they're being that mirror that you needed to see the fears that you have, but also they are displaying those red flags that you obviously do not want, right? So you would want to be honest with this person and communicate that to the person. Now, if this person loves you, cares about you, they are going to talk with you about the fears you have. And if they truly care, they are not going to add to your fears. Instead, they are going to walk hand in hand with you and help you conquer those fears. And this is not about making a person change. This is not about making them do certain things. No. This is about communication, trust, healing. And so this is not about you communicating your fears and then asking them to change. Okay, if they're, maybe, let's say, for example, in the past you had someone who didn't communicate as often as you would like, and you found that the reason why they were not communicating with you often, you know, maybe it was like every few days or every week or so, and you thought maybe it was just because they were very busy, and then you realized that they were seeing someone else and they were not being honest with you. Of course, this is going to make you more aware, so that in the future you you're paying attention to those signs. So you would tell your partner this, and you know, it's as simple as your partner saying, "Oh, I completely understand. I will communicate more with you. I don't ever want you to feel that way. You know how much I care about you," and you know, things like that. It's not about you making a person change, because in fact, if two people want a relationship to work, they both work together. They come together and they talk about the things they value. They talk about what they both want. Okay, they don't listen to you and then continue to do things that would basically add fire to fuel. Okay? Now, I'm trying to think of, I guess I lost my train of thought there, but this is the most important thing. But also, it's also very important that just know what you really want, and pay attention to your intuition, your gut feeling, because in my experiences, my intuition was always right, and in the past, I ignored it, and that was because I was not very much in tune with myself. I had never taken that time to get to know myself. I had not taken that time to pray and meditate on things, and that is very much a part of who I am now. And I am very in tune with myself, and I've gone through a lot to where I know what I do want. And then there comes a time when you need to realize that your intuition is never going to lead you the wrong way. So you have to, this is obviously another part of getting to know yourself, because you need to know when it is your intuition and when it is fear rising up. Not your intuition, when it's just fear-based thoughts, okay? And I'm sure many of you understand what I'm saying, so that's why it's so important to get to know yourself, okay? So you know what it feels like when that intuitive feeling comes up, when that gut feeling, when that inner voice. And for those of you, who are in tune with your spirit guides and with the angels, then you also are accustomed and very familiar with what it feels like and what it sounds like when they are trying to communicate with you, when they are trying to warn you, or when they are trying to give you signs. You understand that too, and that's also very important. So in love, make sure you are listening to yourself and taking care of yourself and respecting yourself. Most importantly, loving yourself first, because how can you expect to love someone else, and how can you expect them to love you if you do not love yourself first? Okay, and this also goes with honesty. How can you be honest to another if you are not honest with yourself? And that goes for your partner too. So don't expect them to be honest with you if they're not honest with their self. If you're very intuitive and you pick up on things that your partner may be doing, saying, certain patterns, and you know they are fear-based, or you know they are based in the ego, you know that, and you can pretty much put your finger on why, the stem of it, the root of why they do certain things or say certain things, but they are not willing to address it or talk about it or work on it, then that shows you that they are not being honest with their self, okay? And if they're not going to be honest with their self, how do you expect them to be honest with you? Okay, this works both ways, so keep that in mind. And I didn't mean for that to be a 13-minute video about that, but I just felt like talking about it. And I just want to say that just always take care of yourself and love yourself and be true to yourself. That will never lead you astray. And when you take that time for yourself, you will see that the right people will come into your life to be your support system, to be your friends, to be like family. And one day, one will be there to be your lover and partner. So I just want to say, don't give up and don't compromise. And don't change who you are or let go of your values, ethics, morals because of people that you may date who may not value what you value, and they may hurt you. Always stay true to who you are, because after all, if we don't stay true to who we are and being loving beings, then what else is going to be left? if we allow them to affect and change us. So just stay true and stay full of love and share your light. Thank you for listening. Namaste.